Hello, my name is Christina Nguyen, and today I'll be completing my Tech Demo 1. So the tasks include graphing a line, graphing the plane, graphing the cylinder, and graphing an ellipse. And I'll be using CalcPlot 3D as my preferred software. So first off, the first task is to graph the line, and that is in vector notation. So to do that, we go to the drop-down menu for select when adding to graph. And when we click that, we choose the vector option, and then by clicking the vector option, we could fill it in with the corresponding information, 111T, 10000. And then to show this on the display, we click the box next to the vector that we just plugged in, and then we see it show up right there. Next, to graph the plane, I decided to do, when selecting on the drop-down menu, to select the function, because the function means that z is equal to fxy. And since we have three variables, x, y, z, we could make z into a function by putting z in terms of x and y, and then we'll be able to get the following plane. So for example, after doing some algebra, we get the following: 2x plus y minus 2, all divided by 2 to get z by itself. And then by clicking on the box, we could see it right here showing up on the display. Next, we will graph the cylinder, which is x squared plus y squared equals 3. So to do that, I wanted to plug in the equation. I selected on the drop-down menu and chose implicit surface, I believe, and by choosing that, I plugged in the values x squared plus y squared equals 3, and I left z as a free variable. So whenever we change the z interval, the height will change correspondingly, and this makes sense for a cylinder. So by putting the equation x squared plus y squared equals 3, we get the following right here on the display. And then finally, we want to graph an ellipse with the that intersects the two surfaces, which is the plane and the cylinder. And I did so by selecting, I keep forgetting which one I selected. I think the space curve, which is RT. I believe, maybe RT, because, to get an ellipse, I wanted to parameterize it. So by parameterizing it, we get 1.73 cosine t, 1.73 sine t, and then this entire equation for z. And by clicking on that, we get the corresponding ellipse that intersects the cylinder and the plane. So as you can see here, it's showing up on the cylinder at that moment. And I used the space curve drop-down menu to do this. And then when we take out the cylinder and the plane, it shows up like this, and at a certain angle you could kind of see it as a cylinder, or not cylinder, as an ellipse. Anyway, thank you. That is it for my Tech Demo 1. Yes.